friend of mine, Tim Dake, from Grandsons of Liberty. Good afternoon, Patriots. He's right, this is a heck of a family reunion. We should do this more often. We should do this twice a month.
Twice a month.
Last year was the first time that I'd ever attended a tea party or a protest of any kind in my life when I was here. And I was surprised by something. Now, I kind of thought maybe you might get arrested or something like that. I actually looked up, what do you say, what do you do, so you stay out of too much trouble. Was surprised when it didn't happen. Surprised when everybody was so polite, so calm, and just got along great and cleaned up. But I was really surprised by one more thing. Where is the chain link fence with the barbed wire around this building? Because every time I've been to a large building with armed uniformed guards on the outside and criminals on the inside, there was a fence around it. I was convinced every one of them in there needed to be tossed in jail. Well, I've learned a little bit since then. There are a few in there that are on our side, but they are very outnumbered. Very outnumbered. But they are trying to do what they can to save our liberties. And really that's what this comes down to. Because last year, this focused on taxes, spending, bailouts. These are important issues. But there's a bigger issue at stake, and that is the trampling of our rights. That is the destruction of our Constitution. And by doing this, this is what gives them the feeling that they can do this to us, that they can tax us, they can spend, they can take everything away from us. And we have seen the complaints in the last year grow to include health care, cap-and-trade legislation, an unprecedented number of czars, bailouts of large corporations, but all of this comes down to shredding our Constitution and Bill of Rights. And if we abandon these founding documents, willingly or not, we are losing the most important of our national treasure, and that's liberty. Recently, one of our liberal friends posted on our group's website a question. Can you teabaggers name even one liberty that you think you've lost? Good question. Fair question. So I thought about this, and unfortunately, I couldn't name just one, because naming your lost liberty is kind of like a certain brand of potato chips. You can't stop at one. So I made a list. Actually, I brought along a list. You might recognize it. It's called the Bill of Rights. And thought is limited by hate crime laws that now make it illegal just to be a stupid bigot. Yeah. We've had our right to peaceably assemble called dissent, saying that we are unpatriotic and un-American, and that it's evidence of racism. Our right to a free press has been replaced by a lapdog mainstream media. They call us our families, and our property is threatened by a Congress that, according to Dianne Feinstein and Barbara Boxer, is just waiting for the time to be right to take our means of self-defense. And our states are treated as agents of the federal government, instead of the federal government acting as the agents of the states and the people that created it, using our states to harass us. Our right to be secure in our persons and papers is replaced by a secret court-sanctioned searches of our homes and our library records, and if you speak of it, you go to jail. Judge Napolitano the other day said that an 86-year-old librarian in Connecticut was prosecuted for mentioning to her 75-year-old assistant that there had been a warrant served on them to look at someone's library records. We have an administration that seizes private businesses and redistributes the assets to its friends and campaign donors. And now today, in this building, I've been told there are 83 bills queued to be voted on. 83 of them. How many of those are going to affect our liberty? Well, if we want to see our liberty again, if we want to preserve what we have left of it, we have to do more than protest and gripe, and we have to do more than send emails to each other. We have to acknowledge who's at fault in this mess. And it's not the government, it's not the political parties, the politicians, or even the large corporations or the media. It's you and me. We let it get this way. But the upside is you and I can take it back. We've all been very busy with our lives. A little bit too much to pay attention to what our government's been doing as it takes control over our lives. We've sat in our lazy boys watching our flat screen HD TVs, eating delivery pizza while the progressives have worked late into the night to dismantle our Bill of Rights and double and triple the size of our government and turn our Constitution into a living document that means whatever the government needs it to be today and something else tomorrow. But it's time for that to end, and it's time to step up and work for the change. It's time to engage in the government and use the system to affect the change to limit its power. I've lost count of how many tea parties I've been to, and I've actually organized a few. But the truth is that most of us here today won't do more than attend and maybe write a letter or call our representatives. But we have to do more than that, because they're fighting hard against us, and we have to fight back even harder. So if you do go home and you're thinking of just sitting down in that chair, take a minute to think about it before you turn on that TV. Take 5 minutes. Call one of your representatives. Call one of your state senators. Get them to listen to you. It's no more than the time you would take to brush your teeth. And to those few that really want to get involved, that want to do something, I'll tell you this, that we do have a plan. There are over 70 local grassroots groups in the state now. We add about 1 or 2 every week, and they're growing. And we need you. We need you to join a group if you can. We need you to help start one. We need you to help us bring pressure on the people inside this building committing crimes. We've been trying to fight Obamacare. Our groups came to the legislature looking for people to help us get an amendment to our state constitution passed to protect our right to choose in health care and not be forced into a government system. We're working on this type of legislation and a whole list of other things that we're going to do after the next legislature convenes. But we do need your help. And you don't have to join a group to act, but you do need to decide to make a difference. And you've had a full year now to think about what you will do. So what are you waiting for? Join us. Join us to retake our nation, to retake our state, to restore our republic, and to restore our future.